If you decide to do no contact, will you be abandoning your fearful avoidant partner? If you can understand this one core emotional conflict that a fearful avoidant has, then you'll avoid leaving your fearful avoidant partner hurt and abandoned and writing you off. This core conflict contributes to the fearful avoidance push-pull behavior, and if you understand this, it will allow you to feel confident to do no contact with them if you choose to do so. And definitely stick around to the end of this video if you want a template text message you can use with your fearful avoidant partner if you decide to do no contact. This text message is designed to avoid triggering the abandonment wound for the FA while also honoring yourself and creating clarity between you and your FA in a loving way. Hi, I'm Katya Morozova. I'm a personal and relationship coach and a certified NARM practitioner. I help people heal from their breakup, become securely attached, and have the love they want. If that sounds good to you, then please subscribe. I'm also the founder of KatyaMorozova.me, and if you'd like to book a one-on-one coaching session, you can do so on that website. First, let's cover why the fearful avoidant is so fearful of abandonment in their adult relationships by first understanding the origins of this wound. Often, people with the fearful avoidant attachment style have a deeply entrenched abandonment wound, usually stemming from their upbringing. More than likely, they were abandoned either physically or emotionally by one of their caregivers. The abandonment wound is a wound of survival and can often occur in some of the earliest stages of a child's development. And often, the earlier the wound, the more profound the trauma. Or if the child was abandoned in a particularly severe or cruel way, that can also create a lot of what we call disorganization or fear and confusion around attachment. This can often lead people with the fearful avoidant attachment style to predict abandonment and sometimes even sabotage their relationships to avoid the abandonment they predict as really inevitable, making their relationships unstable and constantly oscillating. Now, what does this have to do with your fearful avoidant partner and how that abandonment wound is playing out in your adult relationship? Well, often the abandonment wound of the fearful avoidant partner will come out in these really small ways throughout the relationship. If your fearful avoidant partner has ever made you promise that you would never leave them and you kind of thought that was an odd promise, or if they casually reminded you that all of their previous partners have left them and that they don't think this relationship will be any different, then you've heard the abandonment wound playing out in your relationship. Unfortunately, this subtle messaging can unintentionally impact the partner on the receiving end. It can make you fearful, like you're walking on eggshells so that you don't trigger their abandonment wound. You may even make promises that you'll never leave them no matter what, even though in an adult relationship, that's not always possible. The fear of triggering their wound can even drive you to settle for inconsistent contact, even when it's deeply unfulfilling for you. You may feel stuck and think you have to maintain contact, even though they're the ones who keep coming in and out of your life. So why would you be so fearful in your relationship? And why is it so challenging to draw a firm boundary with them or to do no contact? If you want to get out of this internal limbo and break through your own fear and take action, then definitely pay attention to this next part. The reason it's so challenging is because the subtle or not so subtle fears your FA partner has communicated explicitly or implicitly have taken root in your mind and heart. I don't think this is so difficult to understand. In most close, intimate relationships, we become in sync with our partners in one way or another. We can sometimes even tell, what they're thinking or feeling or what they're about to say, and vice versa. But sometimes this synchronicity can go too far when we begin to deeply resonate with our partner's trauma and fears. Their trauma and fear becomes ours, and that's a challenge. And often when we're this open and sensitive to our partner's psychological state, we can buy into ideas about our partner because of what they're projecting outward. And this can even often feed into our own wounds and our own projections. One of those beliefs is that our partner is somehow fragile. This is something I commonly see in the partners of fearful avoidance, particularly. They often feel like they need to treat the FA with kid gloves. And this is because when this belief that our partner is fragile takes root, it can branch out to a host of other beliefs and ideas. Concerns, for instance, if your partner will be okay if you truly end things with them or draw a firm boundary. Fears about your partner's mental health, and especially if they have exhibited unstable behaviors to you or are dealing with a mood or personality disorder. Guilt about breaking your promise to them to never leave, or guilt about being another addition to their list of people who have left them. So how do you navigate these concerns? Are your concerns valid or just in your imagination? Will your fearful avoidant partner really not be okay without you? Are they really that fragile? This is where understanding the core conflict of the fearful avoidant is really important. So the core conflict that an FA can project outwards and makes it so challenging for us to see them clearly is that the fearful avoidant both feels helpless and dependent, which is child consciousness, which gives them or can give them this air of fragility, like they can't survive on their own, and at the same time is the fear of being trapped and the wish to feel independent and take care of themselves. And this conflict plays out in their adult relationships as they oscillate between needing their partners, pledging that they can't live without them, and then pushing them away and trying to avoid being trapped or feeling trapped while attempting to gain independence. So why is this conflict important to understand to avoid unnecessary pain for the fearful avoidant, while also implementing no contact when you need to? You have to ultimately recognize that they are not actually a child and that they are not actually helpless. While they may sometimes feel helpless and dependent on the inside, the truth is they are not. They've made it this far despite the pain they've endured in their life, and they will continue to endure and hopefully thrive in this life with or without you. While you may think you need to rescue your FA, what you're actually doing is you're resonating with their child consciousness when you think this. And if you want to have any chance at a possible future with them in an adult relationship, you'll need to treat them like an adult. And while yes, that may sting them a little, you will ultimately have their respect for not treating them like a helpless child. So will you actually be abandoning your FA partner? The answer is no. Is it possible that they may feel abandoned? Yes, it is possible, but that's not something that you have any control over. It's not your role to have to walk on eggshells to avoid triggering them. And it is our role as individuals to actually manage our wounds and our triggers. What I've just shared is especially true if your partner has already broken up with you, been wishy-washy about their commitment, or is keeping you around as a safety net or in some kind of limbo relationship. So here's what you can do to implement no contact in a loving way so that your FA feels loved and respected, and so that you can get out of limbo land with your partner, giving yourself the opportunity to better yourself and giving your relationship space so that if you do end up coming back together, it's from a more secure place. You can text them something like this. Hey, I know it's been challenging for both of us to let go, and trust me, a part of me wants to hang on in the hope that things can turn around. And it does give me a false sense of security when we connect here and there. But I think it's best to truly give our connection some space and stay out of contact while we figure out our paths individually. This text will work best in situations where your FAX broke up with you but continues to reach out here and there even after the breakup, and you get the sense that you're being kept in suspense. Now, if you'd like a more customized assessment about what your FA might be thinking when it comes to your specific situation, if your ex is really breadcrumbing you and you should cut ties, or if there's still a chance and it's just a matter of the right communication. And if you'd like a custom communication strategy, if one is warranted, then I recommend you book a one-on-one coaching session with me. Or if after watching this video, you still feel a deep urge to rescue or hang on to your ex, even though you know you should keep it moving forward right now, and you'd really like to excavate what's operating in your attachment system that's keeping you hanging on and learn how to heal that part of you, then I also recommend that you book a one-on-one coaching session with me where we can explore that. You can do that on the link in the description, and that link will take you directly to my website, katyamorozova.me, where you can securely sign up for a session using Square Checkout. Do you like this video? If so, definitely hit that like button and subscribe if you want to watch more videos that support you in understanding your and your partner's attachment style and moving you forward towards securely attached. Next up is my video on the fearful avoidant and the reasons why they come back. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. And you can watch that video right up here.